Kumusta? Kumusta? Welcome to the Jeroga Show, the first conservative podcast in the Philippines where we defend life, marriage, the family, and more importantly, the truth. Today, we have a guest on the podcast. He has a PhD in economics from Harvard University and is a certified public accountant, having been one of the CPA board top notchers, a professor at the University of Asia and the Pacific. He has a lot of impressive achievements, but the one that's of interest to us is the fact that he was a member of the Constitutional Commission that drafted the Philippine Constitution under the government of the late President Cory Aquino. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Bernardo Villegas. Kamusta, Dr. Bernie?
Kamusta? Kamusta kayo? Good to be here in your show. And
Yes.
I'm very glad that there is at least a show defending uh, rights under natural law, whatever
Wow.
religion you belong to.
Mm.
So I wouldn't call you conservative.
Yes.
Would
Thank
call
you.
you a defender of natural law.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Bernie. Hey, before we begin, we'll talk about the family and marriage at yung hot topic these days, which is divorce. But before that, I'd like to ask, how did you get to where you are, and especially when you drafted the Constitution, and what was your specific role back then?
Well, I studied in the US, as you mentioned. When I came back,
Mhm,
I
mhm,
started practicing my profession as an economist.
mhm,
And I teamed up with some other economists to put up what was then called the Center for Research and Communication,
mhm,
CRC. It was a think tank that did a lot of economic research to help decision makers make wise decisions, both in the public sector and in the private sector.
mhm,
So our commitment was to actually have all sorts of policies and decisions based on facts rather than
mhm,
just mere opinions. That's why we call it the Center for Research and Communication. And so our institution got to be well known. Eventually, as you probably know, it evolved into a full scale university, University of Asia and the Pacific.
mhm,
So at the time, even during martial law, to his credit, President Marcos Sr. tolerated our existence, even if we, from time to time, did not agree with some of his policies.
mhm,
I must say that was at least a strong point in under martial law. We could exist, we
mhm,
could criticize his policies, and we were not imprisoned. So then, when Cory Aquino became president, well, she looked for people, among them the one who founded
mhm,
our institution. His name is Dr. Jesse Stanislao. He's very famous now,
mhm,
especially for good governance. And he became Secretary of Finance of the government of President Cory
mhm,
Aquino. I was also noticed as one of those participating in public fora about economic issues. So the president
mhm,
included me in the list of those who would be appointed. We were 50 members of the Philippine Commission to draft the
uh-huh.
constitutional, the Constitutional Commission to draft
Wow.
the 1987 Constitution. So that's how I
Mhm.
became part of that
Oh,
50 member body.
okay. So it's guys, sa mga viewers and listeners, it's really an honor for me na makausap po kayo, Dr. Bernie. Okay, so I guess my question is, let's go to divorce. Is it really true that when you guys were drafting the Constitution, you really meant uh, for marriage to be inviolable, to get rid of divorce? My question is there really grounds to legalize divorce now by the legislative branch without changing the Constitution? Because they seem to be confident na constitutional yung ginagawa nila, lalo na yung mga pro-divorce.
Well, clearly, I used the authority of a former chief justice of the Supreme Court,
Mhm.
uh, the Honorable Hilarion Davide, who said very explicitly that the divorce law goes against the provision in the Constitution which says that marriage is an inviolable institution. And from what I remember from our discussion, in fact, the
Mhm.
person to give the greatest credit to for that provision was the late Cecilia Munoz Palma, the
Mhm.
first lady in the history of the Philippines to be appointed to the Supreme Court. So she was also the chair of the commission.
Wow.
And she was very active as chair also of the article on the family.
Mhm.
And she really convinced the
Mhm.
majority that marriage should be indissoluble.
Mhm.
And so we just supported her view. And in fact, at that time, as I mentioned in some of my articles, there were
Mhm.
still not enough empirical evidence coming from the other countries that divorce destroys the family and the destruction of the family is responsible for so many young people
Mhm.
being psychologically um, unbalanced, a lot of drug addiction, a lot even of the shooting and so on and so forth come from broken families. There is over the last 30 years, the evidences
Mhm.
have actually increased. But even at
Mhm.
the time, it was already a sign, and that's what we use, not only in terms of general argument, but already citing the
Mhm.
evidence that at the time we were getting from other countries. But now there's overwhelming evidence
Yeah.
that really the deterioration of Western societies, starting with the US, can be attributed to the destruction of the family,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
divorce.
Especially yung nung naging no fault divorce sila sa US. And
Exactly, exactly.
yeah, and some of the divorce advocates now, they were saying na divorce has always been in our laws before. You're just making it, we're merely putting it back. Sabi nila yung mga pro-divorce advocates. Uh, During that time, uh, yeah, uh, what is the context ba nung time na yon when you
No, I
guys
think,
were removing divorce from the law?
yeah. First of all, it's historically inaccurate. There was divorce, obviously, when the Americans
Mm.
were here,
Uh-huh.
when they influenced our laws because they were our colonial master. So
Mm.
during the American period, there was divorce. But when the
Mm.
Filipinos took over,
Mm.
we actually removed
Okay.
divorce. So you
Okay.
can see that the Filipinos already had that bias because of
Uh-huh.
their culture that
Uh-huh.
divorce, especially after almost 300 years of Christianity.
Yes.
So they went back to our 300-year tradition
Mm.
of having no divorce. So the ones
Mm.
who are saying that there have always been divorce are wrong. It was only
Uh-huh.
during the short period of the U.S. Commonwealth, because of their having divorce in the United States, that we adopted their law. But after that, we went back to at least
Okay.
300 years of history.
Mhm. Mm. So that's an inaccurate statement from their side.
Exactly,
You say. Okay.
exactly.
Okay. And I heard it was for the protection of women nga. That's why we took out divorce sa constitution natin. And today it's very
Yes,
ironic na yun yung
correct.
ginagamit nilang reason to
Ginagamit
legalize
din yung
divorce.
protection of women, yes. But I always say there are at least three ways of protecting women. First, legal separation. They don't have to be
Mhm.
together with an
Mhm.
abusive husband. So it's very
Yeah.
easy to get legal separation.
Yeah.
And then when they talk about human weaknesses,
Uh-huh.
a lot of the reasons why a marriage is declared uh, to be annulled would be human weaknesses.
Mhm. Mhm.
The lack of consent or mental disorder of one of the
Mhm.
spouses, hiding some important information. So there are a good number of reasons to declare a
Mhm.
marriage as non-existent, and that
Yeah.
is where you bring in the human weaknesses. I don't bring in the issue of human weaknesses at the stage of already a valid marriage,
Mm-hmm.
that a person is unfaithful, a
Mm-hmm.
person is becoming abusive, uh, that can be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So all
And
of this talk about
yeah.
uh, marriages which are irreparable again cannot be empirically defended. There
Mm-hmm.
are enough solutions to valid marriages that are challenged by human weaknesses
Mm-hmm.
that can be addressed.
Yeah. And yun nga yung question eh, when marriage was deemed inviolable in the 1987 Constitution, uh, I guess it seems like napag-isipan talaga that there might be hard cases during that time
Yes,
when
of
you
course.
guys were drafting the
Yes,
Constitution. And like anong sinabi
yes.
nyo, you considered paano kung nabubugbog ang asawa or si
Mm.
mister committed adultery. So it's
Yeah,
factored in when you guys were
yes.
drafting the
Those were all
article.
considered, definitely, yes.
Mm, yes. And thanks for that. Okay.
But let me
Yeah,
pursue
go
this
ahead.
idea about the Muslims because during the deliberation, we had at least two Muslim members.
Mm.
One was attorney Abu Bakar, and I forgot the name of the other. At this stage, my memory is very poor. But we were pulling the leg of our Muslim colleagues. I say, "Oh, you
uh,
Muslims, you're very lucky. You can have more than one wife." No, one of them reacted rather strongly. No,
mm,
that's not correct. We also believe in monogamy, but
mm,
there was a time in our history when we were fighting all types of holy wars, and most of our males were decimated.
mm,
And so when they came back, they were permitted to have more than one wife to be able to repopulate our societies.
mm,
But naturally, we are inclined towards monogamy. And it
mm,
reminded me of what Christ said when the Pharisees objected. Oh, but a divorce was permitted, and precisely
mm,
our Lord said very clearly, because of the hardness of your heart, at some
mm,
point of time you were allowed to divorce your spouse.
mm,
But then he said, under this new law, under my new law, whatever God has put together, let no man put asunder. So it's so clear. I
mm,
mean, if a person wants to cite the teachings of Christ.
mm. And good thing you mentioned the Muslims because there was a statement from ex Supreme Court Justice si Carpio Morales saying that divorce was legal daw for Muslims in the country. So therefore, the same option should be available daw for members of other religions. So what's your comment on this?
Well, first of all, I I have to be shown exactly what type of law that the Muslims have. Is that under the Sharia law? And if that is true, then I cite the idea that precisely Sharia law was considered a special
Mm,
law precisely because it should not be applied to the rest of the non-Muslim population.
mm,
So
mm,
this precisely it's considered specific to them, and
okay.
I don't
Eh,
think the idea of equality can be applied there
and it's very
because
ironic
which
kasi
means yeah.
no, it's very ironic. I just want to say na they use the separation of church and state when inconvenient, pero 'pag religious grounds, uh, you know what I mean? Parang they
That's
think,
right. That's right.
'di
That's
ba, 'di
right.
ba? They 'pag convenient for them, gagamit sila ng something religious from other religion na gamitin sa the rest of us, 'di ba?
Yes,
So,
that's why if I take a look at the Sharia law, there's so many things there that about the way they pay
mm,
taxes, about the way they. Then we should also say all of these unique laws in the Sharia law should be applied to us. So that kind of
yeah, yeah,
argument
that's right.
is
Yung
unacceptable.
age
No?
tsaka yung age din, 'di ba? There are some Muslims who marry young, 'di ba? And
Correct, correct, correct. That's right.
should
That's why
be
we have a
apply that
special.
yeah, should we apply
Yeah,
that to the rest of the country as well, 'di
exactly,
ba?
exactly. I think these ex members of the Supreme Justice are not using the right reasoning.
Yeah. Okay, so I love your two-part Manila Bulletin article, The Social Evils of Divorce, because it articulated the secular reasons. Bakit nga ba
Yes.
natin kailangan panatilihing divorce-free ang Pilipinas. And I even used your article as a reference in one of my videos. I I always like to say that we need to talk about divorce with all honesty, because if you we do the cost benefit analysis, on one hand it could be a very easy way to separate an abused spouse from an abusive spouse, but on the other hand we have all the negative effects of divorce
Exactly.
to the society. So
The millions
yeah,
of children who are hurt.
yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah,
talong-talo talaga yung
yeah,
legalization of
yeah.
divorce. So with that said, ano-ano ang mga social evils of divorce, Dr. Bernie?
Well, I also mentioned, I mean, this is not just speculating, theorizing. It's
Mhm,
actually evidence that you find in countries where divorce is rampant, that they
mhm,
really correlated very closely to a lot of the children
mhm,
being uh, uh, let's say, mentally unbalanced,
mhm,
prone to drug addiction, all types of psychological diseases that are
mhm,
inflicting the youth because marriages are easily broken. And a lot of children don't even know their fathers, no?
mhm.
Especially fatherless families. I mean, people just have to go to the internet and look
Yeah,
at the social evils of divorce,
right.
you know,
Kahit effects of
and they will
divorce lang
find,
i-search nila.
yeah,
kahit
exactly,
kahit
exactly,
effects of divorce lang ang i-search nila, wala silang makikitang positive na ibabalik yung
exactly,
internet.
exactly.
Mhm,
And let me go back to the idea of human weakness. The
mhm,
moment you have the possibility of dissolving a marriage, then all the precaution that people have in choosing the right partner, in making sure that both are psychologically ready, etc., they will be
mhm.
easily skipped because of human weakness.
Yeah.
Now, even with all of those prescriptions, people still get into wrong partnerships. But if
Mhm,
we say anyway, you can get away from this contract, people will even be more
mhm,
careless in getting
mhm.
married. And so it will just
Right.
lead to more and more
Mhm.
divorces.
Yeah.
So the moment we have something solid, say, if you get into this agreement, this contract,
Mhm,
which is indissoluble, then you better be very
mhm,
careful about your
right.
social partner, etc., etc. That
Mhm,
will be removed. That kind of uh, carefulness will be removed, and it will
mhm,
just, and that's exactly what the empirical evidence shows.
mhm, mhm,
One divorce leads to another divorce, and multiple
mhm.
divorces. No?
Yeah. From uh, from your experience or sa pagsubaybay mo sa issue na ito ng family and marriage, yung push to have to legalize divorce, was it always has it always been there, or nitong recent lang siya lumabas?
I think this is recent. This is what we
Mhm,
can call ideological colonization.
mhm,
And in
mhm,
fact, there are really people from abroad who are taunting
mhm,
us, saying, "Oh, you're the only
mhm,
country," and then
mhm,
that means you're
mhm.
backward. Well, we should say the opposite. We're the only country without divorce. We are better than
Yes,
you.
yes,
You are
actually
regressive. Yeah, yeah,
actually, I believe na on this very one issue, we could be proud. We should be proud that we're the
yes,
last country na walang divorce. We should
exactly.
be
We
proud,
should
and
apologize.
yeah, and in this one issue, I would like to say that we're the only one, plus the Vatican, who got this right, and the
Correct.
other countries in the world got it wrong. I always say na uh, not having a divorce sa Philippines is a feature, not a bug
Yeah,
of our country.
I fully agree. We should say we're proud of the fact that we are the only normal society in the world. All
Yeah.
of you guys are
Yeah.
abnormal. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Dr. Villegas, thank you for joining me. We have come to the end of the episode. I just want to ask for your final thoughts, final message to the Filipino people regarding marriage, the family, and this topic as well.
Yeah, Jay, I wanted to address a comment that
Mm,
I heard when
mm,
you interviewed Layla Miller.
mhm,
So there was a side comment there that God did not intend us to be happy in this world,
mm,
no, and the suffering is part. I think we have to modify that. I
mm,
think for those who are believers now, I'm referring to people who believe in Christ, who believe in the Bible.
mhm,
It's very clear that God instituted marriage for the happiness of human
mm,
beings. Remember what the Old Testament said. God created Adam, and he saw that Adam was lonely. So remember now,
mm,
loneliness is one of the
mm,
greatest sources of unhappiness,
mm,
even suicide. And God had a tremendous love for us. So he said, now I will create a partner to
mm,
make Adam happy. And therefore, marriage is for people who have the vocation to marriage a beginning of heaven on earth. And we should not give too much importance to all the challenges of, people who become abusive. We should focus on the tremendous happiness that married people have, loving one another, having children. So that is where
mm,
paradise on earth begins.
mm,
So people give too much emphasis to the challenges. Let them take a look at why God
mm,
instituted marriage. And actually, we have to tell people the most important reason why God created you. So the so-called purpose of life. It's not because you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, you're an accountant, that you work for this, that you are a Filipino, that you. The most important reason why God created you, for those of you who are married, is your vocation to
mm,
matrimony. It's a vocation, it's a calling.
mm.
And therefore, that's another reason why we have to really protect marriage if we are believers. So I'm not talking to Christians. And unfortunately, a lot of those who are supporting divorce are Christians. And they even
Yeah.
call themselves
Mhm,
Catholics, very
mhm.
much like Biden, who calls himself a Catholic and is in favor of killing babies. No? So
Mhm.
that's now I'm referring now to my fellow Catholics.
Yeah.
Please review your doctrine of the Catholic Church about marriage. And you will see that it was intended by God for you to start your heaven on earth.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Bernie. And thank you for doing what you do, for being a big part of Philippine history. Please invite the audience to your work and your social media if meron.
Yes, well, I write regularly for Business
Mm.
World and for the Bulletin. So
All right.
most of them are really articles on my profession, economics.
Mm.
And as you know, we have so many challenges. We will have the president address us in his third SONA on Monday,
Mm.
and I'm sure he will address the priorities he has: food security,
Mm.
increasing significantly the amount of investment, especially from abroad, because we cannot continue the build program on our own resources alone. We have overborrowed during the pandemic. We now have to turn to outside sources.
Mm.
And then, obviously, good governance. We still have a long way to go to fight corruption, which leads to trillions of pesos being lost by dishonest officials. No? So these are the
Mm.
things I'm sure will be addressed in one way or another in the SONA, the third
Mm.
SONA of President BBM.
All right. Thank you very much.
Maraming
Hey,
salamat. Maraming
balik
salamat.
balik po kayo pag sa next time na
Of
invite
course,
ko. All
anytime,
right.
anytime. Sige.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
Thank
okay. This
you.
has been
Thank
another
you.
episode of the Jeroga Show. At the end of the day, it will be night. Goodbye.